All right. All right. We're gonna talk tonight. I want to talk tonight. I want to talk some gaming tonight. I do need to figure out what's the next game I'm going to stream. So I may talk about that. I have a few things I want to stream, but I don't know yet. But I do want to talk about gaming tonight. I need to do this more often, actually. This is something I need to do more. So I'm gonna wait a minute, see if anybody comes through, yay or nay, or whatever the case may be. And if they come through, that'll be awesome. If not, hey, I'm gonna just talk to myself and everybody catches it on the back end when they look at the live stream, the what they call it, the VOD, or they call it the once it goes up and you can watch the repeat. So that'll be cool. Sitting here, got some football in the background, looking at some college football playing tonight. A couple of championship games are on. So that's over here. If you're looking at my room now, the room looks a little different. I moved some stuff around and I'm glad I did this. I want to get into that as well because we did talk about that on a video not too long ago where I changed some things around. So that'll be down the pipe as far as what we're talking about. So I want to talk about Mortal Kombat being sold. That's going to be something really interesting, and it's something else that nobody has talked about yet. That's actually under this umbrella as well. That I'm surprised nobody has really talked about as well. Also, Yakuza Zero is being delisted, but it is being replaced. So it's not like the game is gone forever. They're going to put a different version out there for you to buy, and we're going to talk about that. And also, I want to talk about Gran Turismo DLC. The DLC for Gran Turismo is out, and I want to get my thoughts and opinions about that as well because I think that's pretty cool that they're actually doing that. But there are some caveats behind that as well because there are some things that I did not, care for too much. But we'll see. Give me 1 second. That rug behind me is irking my nerves. I don't know why it's bothering me. I don't know why it's bothering me. All right, that looks better. I don't know why looking at that rug was bothering me. So nevertheless, I do need to pull up the window. Hopefully this window is not looking crazy right now. But let's see. On a pull this, is this the one yeah, this will work. So let me see if I can pull this window up. Hopefully it don't look crazy or whatever. Oh, that's perfect. That looks good. Um let's see. Let's move that down. Let's blow this up a little bit more. All right, that's great. Something for $5 a month. I don't care. One thing I don't like about this they have a lot of ads on some of these things, so that's kind of crazy. But it is what it is. So it says Netflix has agreed to purchase Warner Brothers, including game developers behind Mortal Kombat and Hogwarts Legacy. Now, this is the thing that nobody really talked about. Hogwarts Legacy and Batman, they're under the Warner Brothers, as well as far as gaming and stuff. So how would that play out when it comes to Netflix? I think the Harry Potter thing, Netflix, I think that'll work out as far as movies and other type of entertainment. Batman as well. I think that'll work out just fine. But Mortal Kombat is that one that, the game is, I think the games are going to suffer as well as the other games as well. But I think the games are going to suffer. And the movie side of things, I don't know how well that's going to work out because when you're looking at Mortal Kombat, you got to be really delicate with certain IPs. Like when they're strictly video game IPs, it's not really easy to just go out there and say, "Hey, we're just going to put a movie out there or a TV show out there based off the video game." Those things don't work very well. You have to make sure you get it right. If Netflix get the right people in, that will work. But as far as the video game, whatever Warner Brothers has been doing with the video game, just imagine that is probably like 3 times worse, 5 times worse, possibly 10 times worse, because they're going to want their money back. Now, I've seen some people out here saying that, well, they're going to throw out a banger out there because they're going to want to make their money back. So they're going to try to make the best quality game possible. We're probably looking at something on the lines of Mortal Kombat 9 type of reboot where they try to get everything right again and make it for the lore of Mortal Kombat and make it what Mortal Kombat is. But I look at it like this as well. I look at it a little bit more cynical. I look at it from a standpoint where Netflix is going to want their money back. What is one of the easiest and most I'll say, predictable things you could do to try to get your money back. One of the main things you could do is basically monetize the hell out of a game. That's basically what they could do. They could monetize the hell out of a game, and what's going to happen is you're going to have like all this stuff that you saw in Mortal Kombat 1 to the 10th power. And that's going to be your deal. Right, Kenneth Mullen? They said, you wonder what Netherworld Studios will make a Mortal Kombat. That's a good question. I think they'll still keep them around because they're the ones that actually do Mortal Kombat. But as far as the quality of the game, I don't know what type of game you're getting. Personally, I think it's going to be like Mortal Kombat 1 on steroids, where you're going to have all of these companies, or you're going to have this company want all of these transactions in there, and it's probably going to diminish the game. Especially with Mortal Kombat 1, a lot of people don't think about it, but Mortal Kombat 1 was really, it really sold pretty well. It didn't sell that bad. It did pretty good as far as sales. So they're looking at it like, okay, it sold well, it made money. Mortal Kombat usually sells well anyway. So why don't we just go with the status quo and keep doing what we're doing? And if they keep doing what they're doing, this is where you're going to have a situation with Mortal Kombat to the point where it's like, we're just going to do what we do. And you're going to have a lot of transactions in games. You're going to have all this other stuff going on. And I'm afraid of where the gaming side of Mortal Kombat goes. Me personally, I don't need another game of Mortal Kombat. Me personally. After everything from the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection that came out that basically gave you all the classics, you got all the classics. Then if you got Mortal Kombat Deception, Deadly Alliance, Armageddon, Shaolin Monks, I think that's the only thing. Now I'll talk about Shaolin Monks in a second. But when you have all of those games already, and then you turn back around and you have Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat vs. DC, you have Mortal Kombat X, XL, Mortal Kombat 11, you have all these other games. You got a lot of games to play when it comes to Mortal Kombat. You can make the case that you may not need another Mortal Kombat game. If you want to make a Mortal Kombat game to actually, salvage what was Mortal Kombat 1, I get it. But you don't necessarily need a game. Especially if you're OG like me, who's been playing since, like, I've been playing Mortal Kombat since 92, since the first one came out. So I got enough of Mortal Kombat stuff that'll be fine in my book. Now, for the people who came in around the PlayStation 3 era, some people who even came around the PlayStation 4 era when they first got their hands on Mortal Kombat X, it's going to kind of suck for them because that's for the most part, that's all they know. They're not really in tune with the Mortal Kombat 2 from back in the day. They're not really in tune with the, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat 4. They don't know about those like we know about them. So we're probably looking at a situation where those guys going to be actually looking to get another game. Like for me, I think this game right here, once you get to this game, this game and every game before that, you're good. I think Deadly Alliance on down, you're good. Honestly. But the problem is these games right here are locked away. You only can play these on PS2 and original Xbox, and these 360, these 3D Mortal Kombat games aren't they're not easily or readily available. Now, I would think that, let's say for instance, they would do another Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection with the 3D games, but I'm not 100% sure. They may not do that. They may not have, you may not have that situation to where Netflix would want to do something like that. The Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection was basically a collection of games that they did just to get that out of there for a cash grab before they end up being sold. This is one of the reasons why the Legacy Collection was pretty much a rush job. It's one of the reasons why it was, it was basically a lot of bugs in that entire package, and it was incomplete because they just threw it out there and they couldn't finish it before this happened before they sold it. No, this way. Before they sold it, and this is what you got. So at the end of the day, it's really going to be hard to see how they play, how this all plays out. I don't know what to expect, and to be quite honest, after Mortal Kombat 1, I'm not really looking forward to it. Now, if let's say if they do make a Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat what is it? Mortal Kombat 12 or 13? Mortal Kombat 13, whatever they call it. And it catches my eye with a really nice trailer and some good gameplay, some good mechanics. You see some awesome characters come back and they look really, really dope. I'll be interested. But right now, it's pretty much like an afterthought for me. You know, if it happens, it happens. I'm not one of these people to say, oh, I need another Mortal Kombat. I need that right now. I need that in my life. You know, I'll be cool either way. You know, so I am a little worried about it. I will say that I am worried about the direction this is going. I don't think this is a good direction for Mortal Kombat. It was already on a bad trajectory once, you know, Mortal Kombat 11 was what it was. You know, once we realized Mortal Kombat 11 was pretty much like the epitome of what the Mortal Kombat was going to be. And then when Mortal Kombat 1 came out, we ended up seeing basically like another form of injustice. What's going on, Cody, man? How you doing? You know, you basically, that's just what you had. So at the end of the day, I think Mortal Kombat 1 kind of spoiled the entire hype of whatever was going to happen with Warner Brothers. Star Group said, my personal opinion is that Ed Boon will finally step away after this sale. He's been at this forever and is right. Yeah, I mean, John Tobias left a while back. So I would not be surprised. Ed Boon's been here. Y'all got to understand, Ed Boon's been here for 32 years. Ed Boon's been dealing with Mortal Kombat for 32 years. So that also makes me think about what is going to happen with more. I just don't think Mortal Kombat's going to be the same. I think that whatever happened with this sale, it's going to go downhill, man. It's going to. And Cody, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you just started, don't stop. Enjoy these games for what they are. Enjoy Mortal Kombat for what they are, because it may or may not, but I don't think it get better than this. Doc Type says, reading and watching the business channels, Netflix bought WDB for the studios and they make money. Yes, they do. I think the gaming will be fine. I don't know, man. I'm not saying that you're wrong because we just don't know. But the way I look at it is like, Netflix doesn't have a good track record with gaming. If they don't touch gaming, that's one thing. But even then, when you don't touch gaming, if you don't touch the gaming side of it, where do Mortal Kombat go from Mortal Kombat 1? Mortal Kombat 1, it did sell well. Don't get me wrong, it sold pretty well. But the problem with it is, it just was not a really good game. A lot of people who bought that game, they bought it for either the namesake or the fact that it did mimic a little bit of Injustice with the cameo system. But the game itself was not a Mortal Kombat game. And I think that's where that's why I'm kind of worried. Now, if this transaction happened after Mortal Kombat 11 or Mortal Kombat XL, then I would be more optimistic, because of like, even if they don't touch the gaming side, Mortal Kombat left on a good note to where Mortal Kombat 11 was in a pretty good state. I don't think it was good as XL. I don't think it was good as Mortal Kombat 9, but it was still in a good state. After Mortal Kombat 1, you kind of like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? However, we got to wait for the regulators. Hopefully they'll learn from the studios and listen to us game. I hope so. Truthfully, NetherRealm should never have been restricted to making Mortal Kombat Injustice post Midway. They should have been allowed to pursue other projects. That is a very good point. Yeah, you're probably right. And I don't think, and to be honest, I don't think NetherRealm did anything out of the way with what they did with the last 3 games. I think 9XL and well, not the last 3, but the ones before 1. I think 9, 11, and 9XL and 11. I think they did a pretty good job with those 3 games. But I think the problem is they did not have much of a story to follow back on after the fact. And they tried to do a new story with 1. And, with the way the climate of politics and all this other stuff been going, they kind of lost their way a little bit. I don't have a problem with what they did with Cyrax and Sector, but I kind of wish that they could have just made new characters instead of messing with those guys. I think that stuff like that rub people the wrong way. I think that stuff shouldn't have never been in a Mortal Kombat game. It just goes to show you how cultural stuff just seeps in and gets in the way of so many things that don't need to be tampered with. The other possibility could be they could be selling to another studio like, oh my God. Is that a good idea? Let's just say if Mortal Kombat was sent off to Take-Two, would that be a good idea? Honestly, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but that's just if Mortal Kombat was sold off. Yeah, I don't. That just does not sound right. Cody Man himself loved the old ones better. I do too. That's why I had a blast when I was live streaming the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection a few weeks back. The Legacy Collection was that was great. I had fun playing those. I love playing the original Mortal Kombat. I remember coming home from school back in '93, and we had Mortal Kombat 2 because we rented it from a store, and my mom did not take it back for like 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks back away from the date that we were supposed to take it back. And then I ended up doing some chores around the house or whatever. And I ended up doing some odd jobs for people around the way. And I bought my own copy of Mortal Kombat 2 for Super Nintendo. Great time. So I would like to see, honestly, if, and we got to always understand, guys, we're not just talking about Mortal Kombat. I didn't put it in the title. You're talking about Batman as well. Batman is under this as well. And I think Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy is under this as well. So whatever, Batman was doing great under those 3 or 4 games. The Arkham games, the Arkham Origins, those games were great. But now we're looking at a situation where I don't know if we're going to get those back because that was already on shaky ground beforehand. That was already on shaky ground. But I hope they treat it. I just think I think that I don't want to say it like this, so I'm not going to say it like this, but I will say this. For them to listen to the gamers, that will be a stretch. A lot of companies don't listen to gamers anymore. They just don't. I mean, unless they're really, really forced into doing it. And I don't know if Netflix, Warner Brothers, Rocksteady, I don't know if they're going to be willing to listen to us. Not yet anyway. See, when you have a situation like Capcom had to listen to their customers. Street Fighter V was just in a really bad state, and they had to listen to their customers. And one of the big reasons why they had to listen to their customers is because of the fighting game community, the FGC. That game had to be on a tournament level, and nobody didn't want to play these games at Evo or whatever the case. They had to fix Street Fighter V, and they had to do better with Street Fighter 6. That's why Street Fighter 6 is so damn good now, is because they had to listen to the gamers. They had to. I don't know if that'll be the same for Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Harry Potter and Arkham. Yeah, those are the moneymakers. And the thing about it is they don't have to do much with those games to make them sell. With Batman, you just got to make a really good beat 'em up. And make a good beat 'em up in a solid story. That's going to make money for you. Same with Hogwarts Legacy. You just got to have a good story and some pretty cool mechanics. Hogwarts Legacy is going to be fine. But the problem with Mortal Kombat story has always been, it's always been out the left field. It's always been out the left field ever since like Mortal Kombat 11. And even a part of Mortal Kombat 11 was kind of weird. Like, for me, I didn't finish it. So I don't want anybody to spoil it or whatever, but I didn't finish the game. Not the story. I did Mortal Kombat 9, I did X and XL. I did part of 11, but to be honest, when Sonya died, and hopefully I'm not spoiling that for anybody, but in the beginning, Sonya dies, I kind of checked out. I kind of checked out. And to me, I don't feel like that's necessarily spoiling it because the game is what? 2019, 6 years old now? So I'm pretty sure everybody kind of knows what happened. And I don't know what happened. If anybody, honestly, I'll take that back. If anybody want to spoil it at this point, that's fine. I'm probably not going to go back and play it. But I will say this, though. One thing I did notice, Mortal Kombat 11, the vanilla version of Mortal Kombat 11 that's on PS4, I think you can get the platinum on that without going online. If you're into like getting trophies or whatever, I think you can get all the achievements without, I don't think they have any online trophies. Maybe one or two, but it didn't say when I read up on it. I would like to think that Netflix may be able to resurrect Looney Tunes and do something about Hanna-Barbera library. That's probably hoping way too much though. Looney Tunes and Hanna-Barbera, if the problem with that is the people up top are going to try to make those IPs, all those names that's under Looney Tunes and Hanna-Barbera, they're going to try to make those characters be aware or be up with the times, and that may ruin whatever Looney Tunes or whatever Hanna-Barbera is. Hanna-Barbera and Looney Tunes did a very good job of their characters because what they did was generic, timeless comedy. They didn't do anything that was in a certain era or a certain demographic of society. Like, I think some of those Looney Tunes, those cartoons were way back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So it's like, even back then, they didn't do anything based on those times. It kind of like Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry has comedy in their cartoons that just stands the test of time. There's nothing cultural or societal that is captured in or encapsulated in a particular time. You can watch Tom and Jerry right now, and it doesn't. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm saying. It doesn't necessarily put you in a era of history. It just doesn't do that. I think nowadays, with the way that a lot of companies do now, they want things to mimic what they see in society today. So therefore, you may get a quote unquote woke Buzz Bunny. You may get you may get somebody that's a Yosemite Sam that's dumbed down due to what is it called? Political correctness. You don't want a cowboy with a long mustache shooting, people or claiming to shoot people. Elmer Fudd as a hunter would be he will be nerfed basically because you don't want to offend people. First of all, he has a double barrel shotgun running around shooting animals. Somebody's going to get offended. So when you have that type of situation, that's the only problem I would have if they was trying to resurrect that. And especially with Netflix, you already know, if you haven't been knowing what Netflix has been doing back, recently, they will definitely go that route. They've been gender swapping and race swapping characters for the past 6 or 7 years. So I would not be surprised. City Skylines 2 came out and it was terrible. People had to complain and they had to put, yeah, exactly. And the thing about City Skylines, Siri is talking, sorry, y'all. Okay. What I about to say? Oh yeah, City Skylines was an incredible game. City Skylines basically took over what the original Sims was. It basically took that over. So what you had with that was when the second one came out, your customer base, your fan base expects nothing less than how great the first one was. So they had no choice. Exactly. I remember watching someone play through the entire story mode of MK11. I don't remember anything about it now. See, that's the thing. That's another thing. The story gotten stale. I remember exactly what happened with MK9. And that's a great game. That is one of the better Mortal Kombats ever released. You know, it was a great game. And I remember most of what Mortal Kombat XL was. Seriously, if they could make Herculoids, Thundar, and Space Ghost with more of an anime flair with some tight good and evil story. Yeah, but see, this is the thing. Star Group, this is the thing. This is what a lot of companies need to do in general. Just go with what works. Space Ghost is another one that is easy. That is easy to put out there and be popular. Easy to put out there and be popular. Thundar is another one. Easy. Just go with what you do. You bring in people that are funny. They may be a little bit edgy. You know, even if they play it safe, just be a little bit funny and make some nice little jokes and go with what worked back in the day. Space Ghost will be fine. Space Ghost will be perfect. But this is what you deal with when you have stuff like this. You know, and it sucks. And the thing about it, Netflix has been notorious. They've been notorious for doing weird stuff with their IP. And I'm not going to get into it on this because I'm sitting here mostly wanting to talk about gaming. But when you get into the entertainment side of things, you can easily go look up Netflix IPs and see what people have done. See what they've done with them. They really messed them up. And it's kind of sad. But at the end of the day, we can keep our fingers crossed, like Doc Type said, we can keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get something great out of this. I would like to see that. But I'm not confident. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not confident. You know, from somebody I've been around when the original Mortal Kombat movie was out back in the 90s. And those movies were so bad they were good. But I remember going to see the first one and I meant to go see Annihilation. Whoa. Sorry, y'all. I'm watching the Kennesaw Jacksonville State game and somebody just fumbled the ball. The ball went like 20 feet in the air when he fumbled it. Like it just popped and went straight up in the air. It was crazy. But I've been around for the movies back then. I remember when I had to adjust for Mortal Kombat 4. I remember having to adjust when Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance first. Yeah, I remember going out. I'll show it again. I remember going out to buy this game for the first time and trying to figure it out, like how in the hell I'm going to play Mortal Kombat in 3D. How I'm going to do that. And Dog Type, there's nothing wrong with that because that's a statement in general. We need fresh ideas in gaming in general. We need that in gaming all over the place. We need fresh ideas, not just for Mortal Kombat. We really need fresh ideas for about 80% of the IPs that are out here now. We really do. Yeah, PS4 is great. PS4 is absolutely great. You saw them both in the theater as well. Yeah, I mean, looking back on them, I enjoyed them as well. But you gotta also realize, like, they really pieced together. They pieced together a bad masterpiece. It's like the Mortal Kombat's, the Super Mario Brothers movie from back then, the Street Fighter movie from back then. Those movies were so bad they were good. Like the Mario Brothers with John Leguizamo, that movie was so terrible that you couldn't help but to like it. The Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, it was so bad you had to love it. You know, but and to be honest, I would love to see more movies be put out like that again. I would love to see a movie play out where you had a bunch of a bunch of actors get together, try their best to they try their best to have their own ideas of what they think the video game is like. And that's what makes it like really, really cheesy, like Doc Tight said. Like, and this is the thing about Mortal Kombat. This is one of the reasons why Mortal Kombat is kind of like in the state it's in. We don't necessarily need a really great game. We don't need a game that's functional completely. We don't need a game that is 100% perfect. We just need games that have their own identity and sometimes be completely cheesy. You need a cheesy game that's a little bit jokey, and that's what Mortal Kombat was back in the 90s. It was a party game that didn't take itself serious. And I think that's one thing that kind of hurt Mortal Kombat nowadays. It kind of took itself a little bit too serious, and it kind of went by the wayside. Because even with Mortal Kombat 9, that didn't take itself serious. It was Mortal Kombat. Man, Raul Julia, man, he played M. Bison so well. That was like, and the thing about it, I remember watching Thorgy's Arcade. Thorgy makes some of those. If you don't know who Thorgy is, go check out some of his documentaries on fighting games. He does a phenomenal job with like with Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or whatever. And he talked about what Raul Julia had to go through while he was playing M. Bison. Like, I think Raul Julia was like literally sick. I think he had like some terminal disease or something. And you had that disease and you went through and still played that character the way you did. I mean, that was phenomenal. Rest in peace to that guy. I mean, he was great. Yeah, his Gomez Adam was good though. And you can make the case it was way better. I can see that. Speaking of that, oh man, I forgot. What's his name? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Oh, I hate ads. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Y'all know about this? Y'all know about this? Hiroyuki Takawa. He was Shang Tsung on Mortal Kombat. He passed away. Passed away yesterday. That's him right there. Your soul is mine. Y'all remember him, right? He was Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. He passed away yesterday. That really sucks. Yeah, he was battling cancer. He made it through it because his son. And that's the thing. His son was a fan of of Street Fighter, so he did it. I don't want to hear about a congresswoman's pepper spray. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's like everywhere you go, it's like some damn politics somewhere. It pisses me off. Really, he was? I didn't know that. He was Heihachi in the Tekken movie? I did not know that. Dang, this sucks. Yeah, he was Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. He passed away yesterday. Yeah, that kind of sucks. He was 75. Yeah, that kind of sucks to say it out there. But yeah, I don't know what Mortal Kombat is going to go, man. I just think at the end of the day they have an opportunity. I'm just not really confident in Netflix. And like I like right, your soul is mine. That was a great line. But and speaking of Raul Julia, I mean, he had some really great lines in Adam's Family and in Street Fighter. I mean, he was awesome. But like Doc Type said, man, cheesy is cheesy cheesy games is something that we need in gaming in general. We need that in all forms, and not in all forms, but in a lot of our games. We need cheesiness to come back. And you know what? Before I get into the next topic, you know why Street Fighter V end up being a success at the end of the day? I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you why. Let me pull this up. Pull this up. This is why. This is why Street Fighter V. Is this Street Fighter 6? No. This is why Street Fighter V ended up being a really successful game. This right here. Let me cut that down. Can y'all hear that? Let me change this. This is you can't get more cheesier than this.
Dan Hibiki is a master of the taunt-focused Sakyo style. He runs an unsuccessful dojo and is friends with both Sakura and Blanca.
You gotta understand, Street Fighter V was like in the tank. Street Fighter V was pretty much done. And I'm not saying Dan saved Street Fighter V, but this what made a lot of casual people come back to play. Because people had a jokey character, or even some of the hardcore people. This what made them come back to play. Because you wanted a game that didn't take itself serious all the time. And just like Doc Ty said, cheesy is what you need, some cheesiness in some of these games. I mean, how goofy can you get? Stuff like that just makes games fun. And I think a lot of games get away from this stuff.
Dan's V-Skill 1 is
look at all this goofiness here.
His special moves. It opens different combo routes and can make certain specials safe on block. V-Skill 2 is a standing taunt. It's minus on hit, very punishable on block, but can be used to cancel out of Dan's normal attacks before quickly cancelling itself into a special or another normal. It's packed with frame.
I thought you were going to say it was Ryu's Red Bull exclusive costume that made him look like a cross. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember that costume. Oh my God. Why would they do that? But that type of stuff as well. You know, I don't like it on Ryu, but yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, I get it. But nah, it's stuff like this that people like.
Trap potential.
I mean, you can't get more goofier than a guy like this in the game.
It only takes one bar to perform. It's a projectile that can be cancelled from his normal attacks. You can also charge it to cause a guard break.
Hey, look how goofy he looks fighting.
V-Trigger 2 changes the properties of Dan's Fireball and Dragon Punch specials. It also unlocks more powerful variations.
Like, his moves look so weird, but this is the type of stuff that really gives it. See what it does? It gives games an identity. It gives games a charm. It gives something. It gives the games a uniqueness that you will like to go back to from time to time. Like, that's the type of stuff you need. Like, nobody really wants to be honest, nobody really wants to go back to Mortal Kombat XL. Nobody really wants to go back to Mortal Kombat 11 because it's like you can play it if you're a hardcore fighting game person, cool, but you're not going to bring anybody in to like that game. You got to have somebody in the game that say, oh, you know what? That person looks kind of funny. I want to try that person out. Right. Identity and charm. You need that. You need that in pretty much every game. And to be honest, Street Fighter kind of had that back in the day because we didn't really know about these characters. Like once you saw, let's say, Super Street Fighter 2, and you saw DJ come out there, and everybody could relate to DJ because, he was a kickboxer. He jumped around. A lot of people thought he was like Billy Blanks. He was kind of like a goofy character when he came out. He's a little bit more serious now, but people looked at DJ as that goofy character that jumps around and kicks. Fei Long was another one. He tried to be so serious that he was goofy at the same time. So that's why ST is still beloved to this day. And even though with the original Street Fighter, everybody thought Blanka was the character that people would, gravitate to that was casual. This got casual written all over it. You could just play it and have fun.
With the new V-shift system, Dan can bait out predictable attacks and pressure before setting up for a punish.
Look how goofy he does. Look at all the taunting that he's doing. Look at all the taunting that he's doing. And look at this costume. Oh my God. I don't need to say nothing about this costume. Just look at the costume.
Both of Dan's V-skills generate V-gauge for himself and his opponents. This lets him access his V-triggers relatively quickly, but if used too liberally...
Look at this costume. And the thing about it is Dan's costumes, not costume, but his attitude is so arrogant, like he think he's the best. And he's like super weak, but he's so fun to play with. Do you think that's what made Nintendo games? Absolutely. Absolutely. Mario, ever since Mario 64, that's when people started to look at Mario as not as serious. Like, you kind of took Mario serious with the first three games. Even with Super Mario World, you kind of took him a little bit serious, but everybody understood that Mario was still a cartoonish character. But the storyline was pretty serious. I think when 64 came out, you had all these other things Mario could do. So when you start seeing Mario run, or jump, kick, he had like this 3-hit combo that he could punch and kick. Then you turn around, you see he can crawl, he can do a backflip. He does so many things in Mario 64. A lot of people started to look at it like, okay, Mario is one of those guys. You can have fun doing other things than just trying to save the princess. And with Zelda is another one. Zelda was a very serious game up until, I would say, maybe also the 64 era. I think A Link to the Past was actually, it had its own identity with some of the dialogue in the game. But once you got into the 64 era, you kind of got the same vibe. So that's why Nintendo makes the games that they do, because they want their games to be cartoonish, or they want their games catered to a fun factor. They don't want their games to be super serious. Like with Zelda could be a very serious game. If you really think about it, Zelda, that game could be very serious, but they choose not to. The last IP they tried to get real serious with and they never went back to was Star Fox. They tried to get serious with Star Fox, and Star Fox has not recovered since. You go back into the GameCube era, you look at Star Fox Adventures, and you look at, what was the other Star Fox game? Damn. Star Fox Assault, I think. You go to one of those two games, they started to get a little bit too serious, and Star Fox never recovered. So yeah, Nintendo know where their bread is buttered. Even to this day, they know what to do with Mario and Zelda. And the more I think about it, I wish they would go back and do this with Star Fox. Go ahead and reboot Star Fox and do it right. It's long overdue. Jesus Christ, that was a hell of a combo, right? Let me go back and look at that. Look at this combo again. That combo was yeah, Metroid is the most serious franchise, but Metroid came out like that though. You go from Metroid in the NES, Super Metroid, which is probably one of the best games of all time, Super Metroid, and you go with all the other Metroids prior to the ones on GameCube. Metroid's always been a serious game, so I wouldn't necessarily think that them being serious is their downfall. That you know what you're getting with Metroid. Metroid is not necessarily for the same people who play Mario and Zelda. You know what I mean? Like Metroid is the game. Metroid 4 just came out, and that's the game that I'm willing to take my son's Nintendo Switch 2 to play. Isn't that game on Nintendo Switch 1? I think it came out on Switch 1. I may just get it on the Switch 1 and just play it up here because he's down there playing the Switch 2 right now and having a blast. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Star Groove. You're not wrong. It's just that's always been that way. Star Fox started out as a game that was a little bit goofy, and they tried to get serious, and they never recovered. I mean, you with Slippy and Falco, you know, there was always it was always a non-serious game, even though the mechanics and what it was doing, it was always a game that kind of still catered to the kids. Metroid wasn't like that. Yeah, they're dark and brooding for time. Yeah, exactly. They were always been that. So I wouldn't really like. It just goes back to what I'm saying. Nintendo know where their bread is buttered. They know what to do with certain franchises. I just think they dropped the ball on Star Fox. They dropped the ball on Star Fox, and it's kind of a shame because looking at like the game Rogue Flight, which is an excellent game, like Rogue Flight, even with when Panzer Dragoon came back out, it kind of reminded like, look, we could use a Star Fox game. What is that other game that's out right now on Steam? I bought the game not too long ago. EX Zodiac, I think. Yeah, X Zodiac is another game that's kind of like Star Fox. They're missing out on they're missing out on a genre that they could really be prosperous with. I want to look at this combo one more time. Jesus. I might have to go back and play Street Fighter 5 just to see if I can pull that off. But see, this is the thing. This is what makes these games great. This is what makes the games the way they make you a casual want to play it. And this is what gaming needs nowadays. A lot of places in gaming need this.
His goofy nature and bloated ego have earned Dan the reputation of being a joke character.
What did I just say? What did I just say? Did I not just say that? What did I just say? Can we go back and look at that again? I want him to say that again. Did I not just say that? Shout out to Dog Type. Dog Type was just preaching this like 10 minutes ago. It's exactly what I'm talking about.
His goofy nature and bloated ego have earned Dan the reputation of being a joke character. But with an evolved playstyle that makes his mockery more meaningful, he's now more than capable of having the last laugh.
You know what? This looks so funny. That looks so cool though. It made me forget like how dope. It made me realize how. See, this type of stuff is fun. This is what Mortal Kombat needs to do. This is what other fighting games, they need to have at least like that one or two characters that do this. And in all fairness, I think that who was it? Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. I think they were trying to do this. They were trying to do this with I think it was Ronaldo or that DJ character that was in the game. I think they were trying to do that with this. And to be honest, I don't think they needed to do that. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, they could have did a joke character or somebody with one person. And I know you guys who probably don't follow SNK like that, but it's one person they could have did this with. All they had to do was put Duck King in Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, and they would have been fine. I don't understand like why they didn't do that. I still remember the art piece that introduced Dan with Sagat clutching or what looked like a lifeless body. We didn't know we were seeing a future playable character back then. Right. And it just goes along with the story and the lore. It just goes along with it. Look at you. You finished school, got a job, and I'm proud of you. I'll pay you back later. I mean, you need this. You just need this type of stuff in gaming nowadays. And it's unfortunate that you don't get it. You just don't get it. And this is what makes me weary about Netflix. I'm not sure if Netflix would do this for their game. I don't know if Netflix would do this for their gaming department. I don't know if they'll let them do it. But nevertheless, we spent the whole hour on that. That was a pretty good discussion, guys. I really appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Shout out to you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome for hanging out with me tonight. Let's talk about this. Yakuza 0 will be delisted December 8th alongside Director's Cut release. What? Wait a minute. Kiwami 1 and 2 also delisted on Windows? What the hell is going on? Ryu got Goto. I can't pronounce that. They announced over the holiday break alongside the December 8th release of Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. I don't accept this. Get out of here. I hate this. Don't sell my personal information. Yes, confirm. I want to opt out. Go away. Oh, sorry guys for the small print. It says alongside the December 8th director's release, December 8th release of Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, the original version of the game will be delisted on PS4, Xbox One, Steam, and Windows. Existing owners will still be able to download the original versions. So I still have Yakuza 0 on the PS4. I got that digital. I didn't buy a physical release. Instead, which I kind of regret doing this. I should have known better, but I bought the Japanese version of this game. Now, mind you, this is the only way you can get the PlayStation 3 version of this game. I think it was only released in Japan. So my smart ass say, hey, I have Yakuza 0 digital on PS4. Why don't I get the PS3 version physical? Because there's no other way to get it. Well, I bought this. My smart ass, there's no English version of this game. Everything in this game is Japanese. I can't read none of this. I mean, I'm glad I got it, but I can't play it. So what I have to do is just go back and just finish the PlayStation 4 version. And yeah, I tried to double dip and get double trophies. Yeah, me being smart, I can't read none of this. So, but yeah, I have this on PS3, and unfortunately, you cannot change the can't change the language. It's all in Japanese. Yeah, great, right? But no way, absolutely not. Doc type. I am not Google translating that. Absolutely not. Hell no. No way. It is so much talking, so much reading. I'll just stick with the PlayStation 4 version, and that's that. But I'm really kicking myself because, yeah, I tried to be slick. Okay, I'll just buy the Japanese version and get 2 sets of trophies. Nope. I can't read none of that. So, yeah, here we are. Furthermore, the original game will completely be replaced by the director's cut in the Yakuza Complete Series bundle available on PlayStation. So you got to buy the bundle. I don't know if you can buy these separately, but it says it's going to be a part of the director's cut bundle. Okay, maybe you can buy it. Maybe you can buy it separately. That'd be cool. Separately, Yakuza 0, Yakuza 1 and 2, that's basically Yakuza 1 and 2 remastered, will be delisted from the Microsoft Store and PC on December 8th. Buy these games physical if you can. I got Kiwami 1 on PS4. I have that. I think I got it. Hold on, y'all. I gotta make Okay. I had to think about it, but yeah, I got it. I got the first one. I got the steel book version. Yakuza, Kiwami. You bought it on the Steam sale. Good job. That's excellent. You bought it on the Steam sale. I don't necessarily have. I don't have the desire to buy these digital. I actually thought about it at one point. I just rather get them all physical. Now I don't have this physical. Because I mean not the PS4 version, and the price of the PS4 version has went up. Like seriously, I think the PS4 version of Yakuza 0, like it's some, I think cost some money to be honest. Let me look. Oh, it's actually not that. No, it's not that. It's not that expensive. I know at one point this game was almost like $50, but no, it went back down. It's cool. It's like $19 right now. You can get it $19. The director's cut on PS5 right now is $49, which that is crazy. But Sega is offering a discounted upgrade path for existing owners of all 3 updated titles. From November 6th, you can buy. Let's see, you can 8/29 December 8th. Those who got it, get the digital version may also upgrade to the digital version of Director's Cut on PS5 for $15 versus the $50. Yakuza 0 will also replace the Director's Cut will also replace the Yakuza 0 in the Complete Series digital bundle. Windows 10 versions of Yakuza 0 will no longer be available. Customers who purchase these titles can continue to download and play the game. All right, Star Groove. Hey, you have a good night, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. If you get a chance, check out the rest because I got a little bit more to talk about. I appreciate you. Have a good night, man. Let's see. But yeah, I don't know why these games are being. I know why they're being delisted, but they're being replaced by more expensive versions. I will say this: go buy these games physical. I'm going to go and get Kiwami 2, and I'm gonna get 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna get those as well. I don't have 3, 4, and 5 because I got 3, 4, and 5 on PlayStation 3. I already have those physical on PlayStation 3. The original Yakuza. I got the original Yakuza series 1 through 5. The Yakuza 1 and 2. I thought I heard my son. Yakuza 1 and 2 on PS2. And I got 3, 4, and 5 on PS3. So I already got them already. And like I said, since I got them on PS3 and PS2 respectively, I tried to be slick and buy this. And yeah, it's in the collection, but I can't play it. But I do plan on going to buy these. I'm gonna buy the PS4 version of all of these physical at some point. Not in a rush. I'm not really into trying to buy like physical games like that as much anymore. Like that's why one reason why I stopped doing the pickup videos. But yeah, I encourage you guys to try to pick these up before the 8th, or just buy them physical if you can, if you still into the console side of things. Last but not least, we're going to talk about this. One of my favorite racing games, Gran Turismo 7 Spec 3 Plus Power Pack DLC. That came out December 4th. This is the first DLC. Hold on, y'all. I thought I hear my son. He's down there playing. He's down with my wife. They're down there playing the game. I think he's like really loud. One thing about this, Gran Turismo. The thing about this, it is a $50. I think it's 50 or 20. I think it's $29 DLC. Yes, $29.99 to buy this DLC. There's one problem I have about this. One thing about it is I don't think it's worth the $29. But I also think that they have the right to charge the $29. I'm going to explain real quick. The thing about Gran Turismo 7 is that they've been giving out free DLC for the past 3 years. I think this game came out in 2022 or something like that. For 3 years, they've been giving out DLC for like 3 years, and this is the first time that they're doing it. I don't think that is worth it. There's a lot of like I said, for $30, you get 2 new tracks, 8 new cars, and the introduction of the Power Pack DLC. Now that DLC gives you 50 new races, 20 theme categories, 24 including 24-hour races, 6 unique cars specifically tuned by Gran Turismo, and tail-to-nose battles with Gran Turismo Sophie 3.0, and you get $5 million in game credit for $30. I don't know if that's worth $30. You get 50 races, 20 categories, 6 cars. Yeah, it's nickel and diamond at its finest. But I will say this, and I know people may not think about it. They may think I'm wrong for feeling this way. But I honestly believe that they have the right to do this. And I'm not saying they have the right to do it because they're a company or whatever. I'm not saying that. It's just the fact that they've done so much goodwill of giving us like free DLC for like not only the last 2 or 3 years, but also if you think about Gran Turismo Sport, they did a pretty good list of updates on Gran Turismo Sport as well. And they did something that nobody else does in the day and age of gaming. When Gran Turismo Sport was an online only game, basically, they patched that game so you could play the game offline. Nowadays, that's unheard of, especially with the stop killing games thing. You look at what they did with the Crew. You see what they did with what other games are doing. What they did with Gran Turismo Sport was really cool. So this is the thing, right? I'm not saying that this is worth it, that it's a good job on them to do this. I'm not saying that, oh, you should be happy that they're putting this out and they should charge for this. I'm not saying that you should just I would say accept it. But I'm saying if any time that a company that would want to nickel and dime you, I think they should be able to try to nickel and dime you after they've done so much to give you free stuff. That I guess that makes sense. If it's the one time that they do it, I get it. Now, the thing about it is, this better not be a trend that they think they could do this over and over again. Then you're going to get to the point where, all right, now you're bullshitting us. Now it's getting to the point where, okay, you trying to get over on us. The goodwill is gone at that point. After you done tried to do this 3 or 4 times in a row, now it's not funny anymore. So that's where you kind of have to draw the line at. But I think in this instance, after everything that they've done from, hell, I can even go further back. We can even go back to Gran Turismo 6. Gran Turismo 6 has like 22 updates in that game. 22 updates worth of new content in that game. So, I think they had like 22 patches. And I know one thing. You cut on Gran Turismo 6 right now on your PlayStation 3 and you're hooked up to the internet, you're going to have a ton of updates to do that is car-based, track-based, event-based. They have a lot of stuff in Gran Turismo 6 that if you buy the game right now, you don't have the full game because it's so many. No, you didn't have to get a Game Pass for Gran Turismo 6. No. I still play that game right now. I got it over here on PS3, and I still play that game to this day because it's still got a lot of content that I have not even finished yet. And like right now, it is on patch 1.22. It's on patch 1.22 with all the updates. I think it has like up to, yeah, I know they're all blending, right? But I think they have like 18, it's somewhere between 18 and 20 updates in that game alone. So when you look at Gran Turismo 6, you look at what Gran Turismo Sport has done. They could have let that game out to die and just let it be lost media and just kept the servers blocked off from everybody and not patched the game to be online. On top of the updates and the free stuff they did with Sport. And then with the updates and the free stuff they did with 7. Now you want to charge $30. All right. Maybe I don't think it's worth it because of what I'm showing you here. It's not worth it, but I'll give you a pass on that. Will I buy it? Probably not. I don't see no reason for me to buy it. But I get what you get a pass from all the other stuff you've done since 2013. We're basically talking about 12 years of free DLC. So if anybody's like up in arms about this, all right, you have a right to be up in arms. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be. But there's far worse companies that have done worse. There's far worse companies that have done worse. Like I said, they literally give you free Dirt Racer. Yeah, I think Dirt 3, you needed a Game Pass or you needed like a, it's not called a Game Pass, it's called something else. But you needed to buy, you had to buy something extra to get the extra cards in Dirt 3. Yeah, Dirt 3 had that. Yeah, Dirt 3 had that. So you probably had it mixed up with Dirt 3, which Codemasters know better, man. Codemasters is too good for that. Codemasters is too good for that. But yeah, you had 12 years worth of free DLC. They dropped this one time. Okay, I'll give you a pass. But this should not be a trend. And the only thing I'll think about is it may be a trend if this does very well. That's the downside of people buying stuff. If a lot of people buy this thing, they're going to do it again. They'll do it with Gran Turismo 8. They would, then that's the only downside of this. Now all of a sudden, you're probably going to have a situation where Gran Turismo 8 may just come out the gate and start charging you for shit. That's when it becomes a problem. They start charging you for shit because they got away with it with this right here. That's the problem. But nevertheless, I do think that I think Gran Turismo 7 is an excellent racing game. It's probably one of the best racing games on console. And speaking of that, before I get out of here, I'm pissed off at a certain game, and we're going to talk about this game really quick. Let me see, and I had high hopes for this game. This game right here. Oh, hold on. I'm mad at this game right here. I am pissed because this game should not have came out in the state it came out in. Project Motor Racing. I sat here a few months ago and I was praising this game. I was saying this game was going to be absolutely awesome. I don't know if y'all been around for the past the few lives I did a while back. I was praising the career mode. I was all in. I said I was going to buy this. The last minute, I did not buy this. Something told me, say, you know what? I'm going to wait. This was a day one purchase for me. This was a day one purchase. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to put it off because it was Black Friday. I had to do some stuff. I had to buy, I can't say this out loud. I had to do parental stuff for Black Friday because, somebody's downstairs could be listening, I had to do parental stuff for Black Friday. And I put off buying this game. And I'm so glad I did. This game is abysmal. I am so mad that this game came out the way it is because this should have been better. Look at this. Mostly negative. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm going to blow this thing up. Mostly negative. Nobody likes this game. This game got like a two and a half stars out of 5. Apparently, it stated in French. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Apparently, it's that bad, but I am so mad at this game because you got to understand, these are the people, these are the folks that made Project Cars. Project Cars. They made Project Cars. Project Cars 1 and 2 they're classic racing games. Project Cars 3, not so much, but this is what was supposed to happen. These people were supposed to go off and branch off and do their thing after EA pretty much dismantled what they were trying to do. They're supposed to branch off and do their own thing, and you're supposed to get back to the roots of what Project Cars 2 was, and this what happened. I'm so good. And you look at this trailer, man. Look at this trailer. This trailer looks, we're going to look at this trailer. This trailer looks absolutely awesome. Let me cut this on. Look at this. This is a beautiful game. This game is gorgeous. Oh, y'all can't see this. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, y'all can see it. I'm sorry. This game is gorgeous. Get ready, mate. Guys are gonna be gunning for us. I am so mad at this game. I don't know if this is copyrighted music, but you can look at this. This looks beautiful. 70 icons, 50 years of legacy. Man, get out of my face with this. You can't tell me this game is not going to be the racing game of the year based on how this looks. This looks beautiful. Man, look at this. Let me go back here. Look at the sun glare right here. Look at that. That is gorgeous. I would love to play a game with this sunset in the background racing a car. I would love to do that. $28 layouts, every turn counts. Look at that. There was a Nuremberg, Brands Hatch, ranked and crossplay, no barriers. This looks incredible. Did y'all see that? Look at this. Look at that. They got the little grates on the ground, and that's supposed to affect the driving. That is grip, fade, adapt. Oh, I'm so mad at this game. Every lap is a career. This is so bad. This is so bad. I wanted this game so bad. Look at this. Mostly negative. Let me see if I can pull this so you guys can read this. Mostly negative. Not recommended. Should have been EA for half the price. Terrible marketing, overhyped meets sales, overhyped delivers, alpha release, quality as V1. Get it on sale. Don't support such industry malpractice. This being sold as a sim racing game, this isn't. It's mostly arcade. The rain racing is a joke. Just awful if you can actually get the frame rate good enough to actually drive. The true to track leaves tramline tracks of grip. Yeah, I'm not going to all that. This is an early access build. What? Got it for free. Yo, these dudes on Steam, they always got the jokes. They always got the dudes that got it for free, and I still want a refund. Yeah. Refund my time back. Right. Before the most recent patch, the AI was so bad I could not get in front of anyone. After the fix, I can actually recommend the game. So, okay, the game's been patched. Here's my thoughts coming from Assetto Corsa, Assetto Corsa Compazon, Automobilista, I think there's Automobilista 2, and Le Mans. Physics feel great, graphics decent, career is bad. See, this is my problem. The career is bad. I play these games for the career. I don't like to play games online like that with other people. People be souping up their cars and they take this shit serious. They got a racing wheel. I just like I've graduated from the racing wheel thing. I don't do that no more. So this right here, the bad career, that throws it out. I don't want the game no more if the career is bad. Let's see. Horrible. So much hype to release something this bad. Physics is like Forza, not close to a good sim. Mediocre graphics. If the price was 70% off, it still would be too much for what it currently is. Dang. The game runs like absolute trash. I can't even finish a race with all the blips and lags this game has. Do not buy this game. Now, these are people on PC. I can imagine what it's like on console because I was going to buy it on PS5. I wasn't going to buy it on PC because at least I do believe that the PlayStation 5 is competent when it comes to playing racing games. Playing games at 60 frames per second and higher is a must when you play racing games. If you haven't already, if you ever get a PC, go download or go buy a racing game from the PlayStation 3 era or the early PS4 era and play that game on your PC. You will thank me later. Playing racing games at 100, 120 frames per second, you would not want to go back. So I can live with 60 frames. So if the game runs like trash, and like I said, the career mode, they said the career mode was going to be really good. The stuff they talked about in the career mode was going to be great. And everybody that I've seen, they talking about it's not good. Cars feel good. Cars sound great. Needs 3 screen support. Not sure why anybody would release a sim race these days without triple support. Yeah, that's crazy. Hell, Forza 1. Where is it? I don't have it over here. It's over there on the other side. Forza 1 on the original Xbox had triple support. You can link up 3 monitors to play Forza 1 on the original Xbox. So there's no reason for this not to have triple support. AI cars are way better at the update. However, it would not let me complete a full race on career mode because it crashes before the race start, during or directly after. It has completed one online. Oh, he must have completed one online race. Not sure if I'm going to request a refund or not. I bought this specifically for career mode since iRacing does not have a career mode and I can't even play it. I will file a ticket with the game and see if they can't figure anything out. But it's definitely not my PC specs. As of right now, I'll have the thumbs down this until I can actually complete a race without crashing until triple screen support. So apparently, a lot of people are saying this well, like they can't get through the career mode because after one race or a couple of races, it crashes and it don't save their data. The game itself is actually pretty decent. There's a lot of potential here, but the performance completely ruins the game. After a bumpy launch, PMR seems to be on stable ground. Okay. What is with it with all the GT racing games? Braking fails to work with no traction control. Okay, this person just said it flat out. Save your money. Having great fun with PMR. Not sure why there's so much hate for it. Okay. Awful. People who made this game have ripped us all off. The game is broken with many minor things to do, not just work. For example, when you save a replay, you cannot view it without the game crashing. That's crazy. Ian Bell paid me. Let's see. This game is not as good as Project Cars 2. Okay, here we go. Simply put, my game right now makes the launch of Forza 2023 look immaculate. That's crazy. Because Forza 2023 was terrible. Boots game immediate crash. Boots game falsely claims my PC doesn't meet the requirements. Boots game gets the settings, then crash. Verify the game's files. Nothing wrong found. Boot the game and it works. Takes a full 60 seconds to realize I'm not using the keyboard and mouse to control the game. Gets into a single player race. AI sits at the starting line, not moving at all. First turn goes just fine. Oh, this is good. First turn goes just fine. Second turn had to pull the opposite direction because my car won't stop turning. Otherwise, continue the lap inconsistently. The lap inconsistently continues. First lap, only the AI starts moving, crashes into each other in form of a single file line. Tuning gets worse. Close the game. TLDR, they failed to make a game function, the AI function, even the turning function. I'm amazed how poor this game is built. Lots of work to do. You kind of got the gist here. This is crazy. I don't understand it. I don't understand how they got a game this bad. I enjoy the game for what it is, but the problem is with crashes. You pay the interest for free for a career. Game crash. You pay again. Game crash. See, a lot of people are saying that. Like the game has been crashing on career mode. That was the biggest problem. But hey, what can you do, right? I don't know, man. It's just crazy. But I am extremely pissed about that. I'm really mad at that game. I'm mad at that game because I was this close to buying that game, and I'm glad I didn't because of this. I don't know how people are doing on what you call it? On console, but on PC people are not liking it. Let me see something. I'm gonna check and see. Hold on. Okay, so people on the Walmart store give it 1 out of 5. I wonder if I can go to the PlayStation store. I want to see. Okay, hold on. Yeah, the PlayStation they're giving it they're giving it 1 out of 5 on the PlayStation store. Let me see if I can pull it up. That's the okay. I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna get up out of here. I've been holding you guys too long. I appreciate you guys for being here. I really, really do. Especially, it's good to see you state of the franchise. I haven't seen you in a long time, man. Let me see if I can pull this up. Oh, TOR. Okay. All right, let me pull this back up. This is it on a PS5 right here. They're charging $100 for a premium edition. Well, and there you go. You pretty much got the same thing. 2.26 out of 5, 1.5 ratings on PS5. See that right there? It's pretty much the same thing. So it's not just a PC thing. PlayStation, they're saying is bad over here too. Can I get to the rate? Oh, here we go. Here's the ratings. 54% gives it 1 star. Okay, here we go. As for someone who switched from PS5 Pro from PC for sim racing, because of the promised titles like this, I feel humiliated and disappointment. The game was advertised as the next level benchmark sim. Yes, it was. Like better graphics, force feedback, next level graphics, and so on. None of that is true. On the contrary, it feels like an unfinished product with outdated graphics, terrible physics, and horrible force feedback. All in all, I want my money back. I don't need this game. I think me and him are friends on me and him are friends on PlayStation. Pablo? Yeah, me and him are friends on PlayStation. Disappointment. I was excited for this to release and saved up months to be able to purchase this due to having 3 children who needs come first. But anyway, I don't get much time to myself and have limited time off that I can use the race. Well, let me just say this game is not playable in the current state. The physics are all over the place. The AI are terrible. Hypercars are broken. And the career mode was also appealing to me. It was to me as well. And still, I cannot recommend this until it's all fixed. This is so sad. Why do devs think it's okay to lie to us and hype up something that isn't finished? I won't be buying this game when the game is done and it's fixed and is at GameStop and is used. I will not be buying this game, and they will not be getting my money under this circumstances. Absolutely not. Trash. Don't spend your money on this game. FBB is awful. Most cars drive awful, and the game itself is in like a beta state. I really wanted to enjoy this game. This is not what happened. Very disappointed. Graphics, physics, frame rate, pages take forever to load. How do you have a problem loading the game on a console? I can see on PC because PC is PC. I get it. But how do you have problems loading the game on a console? Project Motor Racing feels unrushed and unfinished. The driving physics are inconsistent. Force feedback on a Fanatec wheel is almost non-existent. The cars handle in a way that's neither realistic or fun. The AI opponent, so you're pretty much getting everybody saying the same thing. Game crashes into you. Compared to PS5 titles like a set of Corsa Compass on and GT7, yeah, this is crazy. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That this is bad. I'm not even gonna go into the rest of these. That's terrible. But with that being said, I've been here for an hour and 30 minutes, man. I've been rocking with you guys. You guys are awesome. Hey, man, I need to do this more often. Honestly, sometimes I just sit up here and watch stuff on YouTube and I be playing a game or whatever. We need to congregate like this more often. And I know I've been doing the thing on Saturday mornings, but then that kind of got, scheduling and life. But I think doing this on a Friday night, this might be the move. I have more things lined up to do this. If you haven't noticed, if you haven't watched the background, I actually moved my CRT over there with all my other consoles over there now. I moved all my other games over here. It feels like it's more space in here. And this is pretty cool. I was able to do this tonight. and I was able to get that done. And once I got done, I said, hey, man, I'm gonna go ahead and go live and talk to you guys. And I really appreciate everybody who came through, from Kenneth Mullen, Doc Type, Star Groove, State of Franchise. It's really good to see you, bro, because me and State of Franchise go way back. We go back for probably about what has been like 8-9 years. It's been a long time, man. We've been going back for a long time. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself, Doc Type. Star Groove, same. Glad that you came through. Cody, man, glad that you guys came through. And I'm going to get out of here, man. But yeah, you guys have been phenomenal. Yeah, it was real good to see you again, bro. It really has. It's really good. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be sure to look out for other things I'll be doing on the channel, and even on my other channel where I talk about my Georgia Southern Eagles. I'll see you guys then. All right, y'all have a good night. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. I'm out. Peace.